What's up, guys? Michael James with Beyond the Forbidden. Do you want to receive extra content that's not viewed anywhere else? Support Beyond the Forbidden on Patreon to receive plus content that is only exclusive to members of Beyond the Forbidden. Content like the full 2 hour podcast, bonus shows, full length video interviews, behind the scenes footage with guests, and much more. So, what do you have to lose? Go to patreon.com/Beyond the Forbidden. That's patreon.com/Beyond the Forbidden and become a member of Beyond the Forbidden for just $5 a month. And also check the description for the links.
I was trying
Do
to
you
make
feel
content.
vindicated? Because in a way, I feel vindicated, but at the same time, I'm not talking about just UFOs, because I know you've researched conspiracies too, and you've
Yeah.
had
Oh yeah.
you've had, but the thing is, I don't understand is
I feel.
it's
But I
almost
don't
like
say
I
nothing.
want an apology. I almost want an apology. I know
You're
that's
not gonna
coming.
get it.
That's coming from the ego. I know that's coming from the ego. I
You
know that.
should. You're old one, but you're
But
not gonna get it.
and I told that to Nick Pope a few months ago. I said, it's almost like I want an apology because I've been through so much, Nick. I said, I've been through so much. I've been through a couple relationships. I've lost friends. You know what I mean? I've lost so much
9/11. Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah.
because of this research. I'm talking about with everything: UFOs,
Yeah.
conspiracies,
All of it.
ancient mysteries, spirituality, everything. I've been called a nut job. I know you have. You're crazy. And now they want to talk about UFOs like it's normal. Like we've known it all along.
It's been weird for
Whatever,
me.
man.
Like a forerunner in a lot of this stuff, just locally. There's people who were, you know, I'm carrying the ball. You know what I'm saying? They influence and share information, and we're ripe for the picking. And then we take it and we do our thing with it. I put it in my music. You know what I'm saying? They influence people do podcasts. Come on. But yeah, the weird thing for me in that is because I come from a religious background. So
I do too, yeah.
I was a Christian rapper when I first got started. So and then I went from Christian rapper to like sampling, Tessarian in my music and talking about, Jesus died on the cross. He was the boss. He died for the lost. Like that was like Christian rap, going to churches and rapping and sharing and preaching to thousands of kids, to now megaliths and monuments, meditating, finding bliss. Emerald tablets, sacred text, deciphering the counterfeits. In the temple, time is spent conquering the elements, lower level banishments. Like I'm dropping knowledge, and it's biblical for me. A lot of it's mentioned in the Bible, but yeah, I went through it because they're like, hey, this guy worships the devil now. Like, no, I don't worship the devil. He's a devil worship. And so I had all this backlash and attack, from sharing what I was experiencing and studying. And but then, laughed at about the Book of Enoch, laughed at about aliens, laughed at about conspiracies. I mean, anything we do, we're ridiculed. I mean, that's the process that truth goes through anyway. We know that. But then these pastors take, the same. Now they didn't. So because I got a lot of notes from other people, but it almost seems like they took my notes and started preaching them, like mainstream pastors, and the people are like, oh yeah, pastors are speaking on the stars, bro. Oh yeah, the stars, it's the Mazzaroth. I said, I'm telling you this. Listen, they get mad at me. I said, y'all better say his name. Say his name. Whose name? We learned this from so and so. Well, he needs to say he got it from Jordan Maxwell, and y'all need to know that. There was nothing online on the Mazzaroth and the Zodiac in the Bible. There was nothing. Very little. And now the church is just common. Oh yeah, New World Order. Man, y'all just like y'all stealing people's work and trying to get off of it and won't give honest. Steal it all you want. Repeat it. This work is it's in the air. It's in the atmosphere. This is what we're doing. But come on, man, you got to be somebody who. And that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong for doing that. And people try to check me and say, well, they don't own that knowledge and blah, 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 blah. And he didn't know, man. These people put in work and were killed, man. They lost everything for you to come on here and handle the truth. Man, this is our lives, man. Like this is a big deal for us. So, I mean, you'll never get the apology, but for us to know, what I'm saying, that we were right the whole time and we are right, and try to keep moving, and knowing that, you got to stick your head out there and to never get, you'll never get vindicated. How many how many people ahead of us, in the ancient world where they were literally hunting you. They'll hunt you. You knew how to, man, you can go under the stars and get UFOs to show up on command. You better not put that on TV. You better not put that in the news. They coming for you. They're
Mm-hmm.
because they're the only ones with the power. How dare you? They killed all the shamans. They killing. Come
Sad,
on, man.
man. That's sad.
Yeah. So, when you talk about, the devolution, how we're taking steps back, we're also taking steps forward. It's kind of a few steps forward, a few steps back. It's this process. It's this sway, kind of going back and forth. But we're living in very interesting times. The only reason the government's speaking on this is because they have to, and the only reason the churches are speaking on this because they have to. Because if not, they're getting left behind, quite literally. And they've been left behind. They don't honor their prophets. They don't honor the people who put in the work. They take it, regurgitate it, and they'll put their name on the book and really take somebody else's work. But I'm big on the honor, and all of this is potent right now. Like, have you seen my latest video on Facebook and YouTube?
You see,
So I was able to go out and film.
real UFO
Yeah,
Merkaba.
go if you want to check it out. Go
How
about the
how long is it?
eight. You got to go about the 8 minute. I'm talking most of the time, but you'll see the pictures and you'll see the close up about the 8 minute mark. You'll see the scene change, and you'll just get to see the kind of like the highlight. I gave a lot of commentary. I wanted to use it as a
About the 8 minute mark?
yeah. You'll see it change. Yeah. Okay. See. Yeah. Right there when I'm looking at the
See. Skip ads.
to get the commentary, but this is what's going on. This is why they're spraying. This is why they're blocking. At the bottom of it lights up and it releases what it was carrying into the sun. It's a Merkaba. And then flies away. And many different types of these Merkabas are coming back and forth, dropping things off in the sun. So we'll look at it a little bit more zoomed in. See it light up at the bottom. I've yet to see any footage online of the Merkaba light body vehicles. And there's many of them. It wasn't just one. This particular one's red. But again, at will, they have the ability to change shape, to change colors, and this footage and all of that stuff flashing and moving quite a bit. All of that's activity. And there's so much more that you can see. Here is an image I want to.
I'll turn it down. I'll turn it down. You can go ahead and start narrating
you're
or
good.
whatever.
So there was that, and then right before that, there was a screenshot that was a little bit closer. But I just wanted to say all that to where like disclosure is already happening. The truth has always been out there, but something's going on to where the consciousness of the people is evolving, and we're saying yes, and something's taking notice, and the veil is coming down. And I think that this is something that can continually happens. I think that this is something that they have a effort to hide from us and to block it, to make you, to take your birthright from you. Oh yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, you're only here to work and, retire and blah, blah, blah. And you do a good job working at your company and Walmart, and they're going to.
Jordan Maxwell did talk about we are property. Our birth certificate, all capital letters, we are property of the government, and he could explain it a lot better than me and you and I can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He broke down the
oh my man.
Time Admiralty law. One of the deepest things that I used to try to show people, that I feel like it was him, could have been somebody else, but zooming in on your checks that you sign at the bank, and there's a at the bottom that you sign where your name, and you zoom in, it's a freaking tiny sentence that it's letters and words that you're signing and you don't even know it.
I think it might have been
It's,
him. Yeah, I think.
yeah,
I'll try to look into
something
that.
like.
Yeah,
But
it's
I mean, it's just
wild,
so
man.
it's witchcraft, bro. Like they're using witchcraft against the people to put us asleep and make us forget who we are, make us forget who we came from, make us forget our power. So we look to them for the answers. The Bible says, "Don't consult the dead," and I get accused of consulting the dead because I'm friends with mediums and friends with beings and stuff like that. Those are demons. No, no, no. These people are dead that are giving you advice on your mental health or giving you your health advice. You're consulting the dead anytime they give you marriage advice. They speak into your life and you're listening and receiving. Man, they tricked us.
Hmm.
Jesus looked at the same people and said, "Man, there's no life in you. You guys are the walking dead. The outsider looks good, but inwardly there's a monster inside of you. There's a demon inhabiting you that has no life in it. You know how I know? Because everywhere you go, death follows. The water's polluted. The air is you can't drink the water in Flint, Michigan. You can't. Everywhere you go, you putting chemicals in the water. You kill the animals. Everywhere you go, people mourn. But watch me. Everywhere I go, things come back to life. The winds and waves listen to me. They've been waiting to listen to not just to him, but to everybody. That's the thing. That's what Christ is. The New Age understands that Christ consciousness, that Christ would return, the Spirit would return through us, through the individuals, through the breath, through the imagination, and work with you and help you transform this place. The whole idea of it existing in one person, that he was the seed that gave himself up and went into the ground. So now it's multiplied. Now he's the tree that we're eating from. We're not eating from these other trees. No, because he is judgment. Jesus is judgment for me, 1000% judgment of like on how I love people. Yeah, look how he loves people. Damn, yeah, I gotta step my game up. I can't because I want to be like that. How he handles money, how he handles haters. I mean, everything. He's a human, a regular guy who knew that he was being tested, who understood the knowledge, who did the research, who was initiated, who knew that even though people weren't watching him, and it would not, even though, especially when people aren't watching him, the gods were. And they come and bring good gifts and they reward and they're your friends. To know to have peace going through this, all of this stuff, man, that's what he represents. And I think that that's why I think that energy is here, man, and in a
Um,
major.
the only thing issue I have with the Bible, and I agree with a lot of what you're saying, man. And even if I'm to the point, and with my journey, I don't really disagree hardly with anybody. You know what I mean? Because how do I know what what's speaking through them? How do I know that I'm being deceived? So everybody has bits and pieces of truth and knowledge
Mm,
within them. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Everybody. But to the Bible, the only thing I don't understand is I believe a lot of the message, the spirituality, everything you've been talking about, I've
mm,
talked about also.
mm,
But you're talking about this along the way, that message has been hijacked. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
like, was it the Council of Nicaea? Was it Rome? Was it the New World Order? Like back, like the beginning stages of that of this, like, was it the church? Like, what I mean, I'm not talking about like your church down the street. You know what I mean? I'm
yeah,
talking about like Rome. Was it the the Roman Empire? Was the message hijacked with these councils to where they could put fear control in us or use that as a mechanism, as a tool to instill fear, to keep us tamed, to keep us in always submissive and because I believe if we're in a constant state of fear, we're more easily controlled, and
yeah.
that's true.
I think my answer ties back into what we've been talking about. The fact that depending on who's holding the text, who's reading it, you're going to get a different story. You're going to get a different meaning out of it. They're going to use it a certain type of way. Whoever's holding the gun, whoever's holding the hammer. And so if that was the idea, was to hijack religion, was to hijack the Bible, would be, again, the same thing with medicine. To hijack the medicine, get the people sick, but then get them addicted to something else, put chemicals in their food. So now they're addicted to food. Now I can get them to buy when they're not hungry. They're hungry. They just love to eat because it makes them feel better because they hate themselves. Right. So it's to hijack this stuff, and it's good stuff like nutrition, food, the serpent wisdom, the medicines, plant medicine. Let's make the plant medicine legal. Now, if they get it, we'll send them to jail forever. Yeah. So it's like taking everything that is here for us, that's here to help, and then to take it and to flip it. It's called inversion. And it's the biblical sin of blasphemy. Mm-hmm. It's to take everything that we need, everything that God gave us that's beautiful, that's here to help you, and we're going to turn it into something that harms you. Your diet is supposed to be here to help you, give you energy. Now you're eating and you're getting no nutritional value. You're still hungry after you eat. Or you're eating when you're not hungry because you're addicted. They've got us on all types of things. So I think that ties into the scriptures as well, that somebody hijacked it because they saw power in it, that it does hold the keys to many of these ancient mysteries, that if we can take it and we can skew it, we'll make the people attack the very thing that they need. We'll make them attack religion, or when the ones who do feel it and they do wake up and they get touched by this inner truth or by these stories or whatever, now they see us, and now we can put them through our system. But it isn't until so long that most people who truly wake up, who are truly trying to be good people, trying to be righteous, hold on, y'all are doing what? Y'all did what with the money? Y'all did what with the children? Mm-hmm. Y'all did tithes and offerings. So all of this it's not nothing new though. It's all prophesied in the scriptures, and not just prophesied, but it happened of when they went in, the children of Israel go into captivity in Babylon. Because they were taken captive, they became slaves, and then their truth was taken from them and given to another, and then the Antichrist is in their temples. Y'all let us, this guy, y'all thought he was one? Y'all thought this was a good dude? Really? You voted. Well, he only gave us two choices. You voted for that. So he's your fault. You voted though. Yeah, it's the best of two. It's all he gave us was two options. Man, don't vote. You vote. You have a third vote. Your vote is, I'm not voting. Because you let them know. They know those numbers, man. They know the population of the people when they do the census, and they know how many people are voting, and they say, damn, the people ain't falling for it no more. They're not falling for it.
But people still are voting. So that's why it's like a double-edged sword, Truth.
It is
because yes, I, like you said, I see an awakening. Yes, with me and we're still fairly young, of course, according to a lot of other researchers out there, but we've been in this game for a while. So yes, we've seen an awakening over the years since 09, 07, 8, 7, 6, but the thing is, people are still voting. People are still wearing masks. People are still watching the football game, I don't know if you saw that video that kid got mad because the Eagles lost. He screamed and threw the TV down, punched it and everything. And then in traffic, you be in traffic, man, and you see the worst in people. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, there's an awakening. But is it large enough? Is it quick enough? Is it enough to actually make a difference? Yes, I know. A little pebble in the water can make a ripple. That's what it's doing. But that ripple effect is very slow. That ripple effect it's a very large ocean. And that large ocean that hasn't seen that ripple effect yet is the people that are glued to the sports. I love sports too, but yeah. You know what I mean? But
yeah, everybody's not going to get it like that. And I don't think they're meant to. You know, everybody's not wired. I don't think everybody's wired the same. I don't think that everybody's calling is
I'm
the
not a
same.
pessimistic person either. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
No, I think
I see the best in people, but also see the worst in people too. You know.
well, that's the only way you see the best, because that's judgment. When you see somebody do you wrong and you put into the same scenario and somebody would never fathom that, you're like, that's a good dude. But he's only a good dude. The other guy's only a bad dude because you met a good dude.
Yeah.
All my friends talk crap about me. All my friends mock me and laugh at me. When I go to church, they make fun of me if I talk about psilocybin or aliens. They tell me not to talk about it. Well, you need to go to another. Dude, that's what I represent, bro. Man, listen, you can love Jesus and is psilocybin helping people? Okay. Well, we rejoice in that. Don't abandon your, because these people make you abandon,
You're
make
being
you
tempted.
renounce faith. And
You're
that
being
wasn't it. It's like Gandhi said, man, Jesus is amazing. I love your Christ. I don't know how I feel about your Christians. They're not, because they're not like your Christ. The Bible talks about how the wheat and the tares come up together. It's a mixture. We're mixed. All of us are mixed. You're not just, I'm not a good dude. You're not a good dude. Jesus wasn't a good dude. He checked somebody who called him a good man. I'm not good. I'm choosing. I'm choosing to be good. I'm choosing. I know what it's like to be mocked and ridiculed. I never want nobody to feel that way. Don't think I'm just a default good. No, we got all of it in us. We're capable of so much. You're capable to create whatever you want. You got the breath of God in you. Speak it, believe it, receive it, create it, start the business, put the money behind it, ask for donations. Boom. Now we got a cult. Now we got a commune, or now we're feeding homeless people. Man, we could do whatever we want, bro. Like, and I do think that it's showing people. So you eliminate the good. You don't show this every morning on the news. We had 16 violent crimes and homicides. If that's the way it's supposed to be, no. Nah, I'm a do my best to show you another way. I'm gonna show you rap music that ain't degrading women. I'm gonna show you over 300 songs with no cursing in any of it. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna hear me battle rapping or dissing people in my music. No. So now man, all music is, you heard my music, bro? And then now when people listen to it, it takes them to another place. There's magic. There's power to it. And so in every act of kindness, and every time that you choose good, every person who goes out of their way, where they come from a family in a generation that they were cursed. They come from a family. I'm from the South. You are too. Come from a family of racists. And then they say, nah, we're not doing that no more. What? Nah, we're not using that word. We use it all our life, son. Nah, I'm not saying that, bro. I got black friends. You know that's offensive to them and to me. We're not doing it. Stops with me. You just nah, boom. I'm the standard. I'm judgment at your door in the form of your son. We're not doing it no more. Religion is bashing gay people, telling anybody that they're going to hell and using that as a sales pitch. Nah, we're not doing that no more. Nah, we got a better way. That's the best you got. If you don't come hang with us, you're gonna die and burn forever. That's the best. Just your sales tactic. Man, keep that. And that's what people are saying.
What happened
But
to thou shalt not judge? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
so what I'm saying, you've seen the book of Eli, right? The people who got the book, the people who are reading the book, it's the same thing that was happening in the Bible. This is that story is multidimensional. And that's what I was saying about if Jesus is real or astrological or a metaphor. Here's the thing. It's what I bring to the table. Salute to all those experts. Jordan Maxwell, expert. Say his name. But I got another friend, Kelly Marie Kerr. She's going to break it down and show you about the sacred secretion, which is now big. And how the Bible is a story of your anatomy. Meet any Freemason. They've been knowing that. Solomon's temple is your anatomy. God's throne is your heart. The cherubim or the cherubim is a cerebellum. The third eye, the column, man, all of that, it is that.
The
Here's the
Kabbalah.
thing. Everybody's just saying it's only one.
Yeah.
It's only astrotheology. See, that's where you mess up. You exclude everything else. This is what I'm bringing to the table, and I'm making sure this is my judgment. And it's working. It's working because I'm going to those experts and I'm showing them. And they're like, wow, man, bro, thank you. And they're changing course. They're incorporating all of it. When they was like, the Bible is only astrotheology. Nah, man. As above, so below. It has to be as within, literally inside of you, so without. This is multidimensional. And we're letting people interpret these scriptures who are not initiated, who have no idea what they're reading. And they've read it to their own demise and used it to, the people who use it to hurt people, I believe they know. The higher ups knew because they changed it for a reason. And they did a damn good job. And they taught us, they've created a new language and enslaved us with our language because we become not only what we believe, but what we speak. And they've taken these beautiful truths in the Bible, tutorials on how to talk to angels, tutorials on how to manifest anything you want, tutorials on how to heal. It's all in there. Oh, and they changed a few words and now we don't understand.
Do you
But it's
think all religions have bits and pieces of the truth?
Yeah. Yeah. If I believe the Bible has any truth, the Bible is a compilation. You don't have to go and join Islam. You don't have to go and join. You don't have to be a Buddhist. You don't have to become a Freemason. Man, listen, I'm telling you what's going on. This is the apocalypse, man. I'm friends with some Freemasons who share as much as they can with me. And we talk. And he's like, bro, you don't need to be a Freemason. You know everything that we know. Dude, I don't even, bro, this is all Bible in the spirit, like connecting in meditation and prayer and being aware when after I pray, God is downloading and speaking and the angels, this is apt for everybody. These mysteries that they had to really sell souls for and do things that they probably shouldn't have did to be initiated and do this. And listen, if you're a student and that's the route you want to go do it. Become a clergyman, become a pastor, you don't have to do that. The Bible talks about the apocalypse is that which is hidden is now being revealed. All of these people do this stuff in secrecy and they hide it. And they're hiding good things too. Some of that stuff we need. You need to know that your body is a temple.
Why do you think they hide it for? Do they think that we can't handle the truth? And if that's the case, huh? What's that?
I don't think we can.
But
we're being conditioned.
A baby won't know. Like a baby, you can tell that baby not to touch that light socket all day long, but he won't know the powers of it until he actually touches it. You know what I mean? Like,
but yeah, if you give the baby the gun, and he's just playing with it, he might shoot himself.
Right.
And better, he might shoot his mother on accident. Shoot. Right. That's happened. Like that's happened.
So that knowledge that ancient mystery knowledge, the ancient mystery schools and this deeper truth is kind of like the metaphor of the gun is so powerful that you may not want to give it to quite a baby.
Yeah, that's how it was designed. Yeah, that's how it works because you need to go through tests. You go through schooling. It's a universal mystery school. We're all in it. Everybody's in it.
Why does my grandfather, he's a Mason also. Why does he say anybody can become a Mason? You have to just believe in a God or a creator. In a God or a creator. Why do you think he says? He says that he's told me that many a times. Like you have to believe in a God or a creator. Why is that, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you what I used to believe and what I believe now. I used to be on the straight conspiracy stuff because that I used to say that at a certain level they get you to denounce that God, kind of thing. But no, they're trying to make good men great. They're trying to make good men better. you know, and in that is the belief in a higher power that you don't get away with the BS. Like you are accountable, even when we're not here watching. God is watching you. So this, and I do think that helps people to believe that I don't get to do bad stuff and get away with it, or I don't get to do good stuff and get away with it either. That I'm actually going to be rewarded for helping people, and those rewards come in many different ways, and those consequences come in many different ways. So, you know, I hope and believe that that's what it means for them, is that they really are trying to help. They don't let just anybody be a Mason though. It doesn't not just come and believe in God. No, you have to have people uh, recommend you. You have to have somebody who says, "Yeah, this guy's good." You can't be on dope and strung out on
Well,
drugs
yeah,
and
yeah,
own rapists in the community.
yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
you're not representing this order. And on top of that, they don't try to convert anybody. The Jehovah's Witnesses and Christians, I like to tell you the gospel. Come to my church, man. You got to come. You have to go to them. You have, and that's how you're supposed to be initiated into anything.
I see what you're saying, Truth, because all these years, man, of me talking my trying to get knowledge out of my
Come down there with us. He might
like
invite you to fish fry or something like that, but he's not like, come
no,
sit in our meeting.
no,
You have
like
to be able to look at his life and either be like, man, my grandfather's a great dude, bro. And anything he's a part of, man, I want to be a part of it, because I never met nobody like my grandfather. And if he was one and he's still one and he believes in it, I want to be it. I don't
he's
know
all
what it is,
he's
but I
always
want to be.
asked me, was I interested? Like I can tell he wants me to join or to be one. It's because you ought to see his eyes when I start trying to ask, when I try to seek more knowledge from him, when I try
He
to
wants to
ask
tell you, but he
questions.
can't.
It's like, whoa, like,
Yeah,
like he's on a path, he's on a journey, you know,
yeah,
like,
yeah. You can identify that. Yeah,
yeah. And you ought to see his eyes, just the expressions and things he says, man. Because I guess that's part of their brotherhood. You know, I'm talking about seeking more knowledge, these ancient mystery schools and things like that. But
they have order, man. There's a lot of great things to say about them for sure. That I know that to me mirror, and I'm not a Mason. That mirror what Christianity, what I read about in the Bible of a brotherhood of things
he keeps
that
saying that it's a brotherhood. He always says that it's a
you
brotherhood.
don't have to
Yeah.
worry about. No, you ain't got to worry about the dude, your brother's hollering at your old lady when you turn your back. I can't go to any church and leave the young guy, people hugging on it too long. Oh, you can't do that. What you doing? Like you didn't have to worry about none of that if you're a Mason. They find out you got a whole union of brothers that is, hey, bro, you crossed the line and you're in trouble, dude. Like, so even the
Speaking
oath,
of that, Truth, speaking of that, I mean to cut you off, man. I'm not gonna go into it, but I got in trouble probably about 15 years ago or so, 17 years ago, maybe something like that, where I had to go to court. So uh my grandfather, he did some phone calls. He knew the judge. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
and I was innocent. Of course, everybody's gonna say that, but I was innocent. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
And I just got mixed up into a wrong situation. Like, but you know, just the wrong time, wrong place, wrong time. I got out of that. Nothing on my record or nothing. But regardless, I was innocent. Like in my heart, I know for 100%. But he helped me get out of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not always
It's a
what you do,
brotherhood. It's just like you said, it's a brotherhood. You know,
you know. And I think we're supposed to, humanity should have that common brotherhood anyway.
we
You know what I'm
should,
saying?
man.
And
Yeah.
have to go and pledge and put on funny hats and walk backward and do these reenactments and stuff. We shouldn't have to do that. And um, you know, we should look out for each other. But you get perks when you know people, and that's the difference when that's he's looking out for you. And I look at the same thing about Christ and the angels and ETs and all of these really deep truths or whatever, like things and not just hold on. It doesn't matter what you know, remember, right? But what you know, but it's who you know. Do they know you? Jesus gave this statement in the scriptures. He says, if you acknowledge me in front of people on earth, tell them you rock with me. How do I tell them? Man, don't steal nothing when everybody's stealing. Boom, they know. Don't curse. Don't laugh at the joke about the handicap guy that they say at the cooler. Y'all laughing at handicap people. Nah, we don't do that. Don't laugh at the racist joke. No, we don't do that. Hey, remember me. Say my name. Just by doing that is saying his name. I'm just telling you what it means. I'll remember you. Remember me down there. I'm going to vouch for you up here. I got you from the celestial realm. When it goes down, I got you. You got a place to live, bro. Always. You talking about a brotherhood, and you got me down there? Man, gladly. What you got, 50 years, 40 years, 100 years if you're lucky? Man, you got eternity wherever you're going next to but we got a standard. You talking about the Masons we don't just let anybody in. And I'm not talking about just getting into heaven. We're talking about degrees of heaven. Let's just say that. The place where I go, you may be also. Everybody, I believe everybody that chose, that represents even a little bit of love. Even the people who are dark, that had something to love, that part of them that is love gets in. The other part gets destroyed. It should get destroyed. That's the levels and degrees that we're in this mystery school that Christ represents, fire, that we would bring fire, a baptism of fire, and absorb it into us, that we're being purified. Bro, I don't think like I used to think, bro. I don't think like I used to think. I'm not the same person as I was 20 years ago. I'm not the same person I was last week. Like this is a perpetual inner, and it has nothing to do with Christianity. See, that's the thing. This is truth.
You're using that as a tool for your own spiritual journey and path.
You need a modality, and these people need masonry. These people need Buddhism. You need something, but then eventually you say, man, that was just that was training wheels to introduce me to the truth. Now, man, I can go sit with the Muslims. I can sit in a church. I can sit wherever. I can sit with the atheists. I can watch a movie. That's
without the training wheels.
I'm being taught. I'm tapped in. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about us. Eventually, you don't need to be told, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not commit adultery. The last thing I'm trying to do is cheat on my wife. Don't commit adultery. Oh, yeah, we can't admit it. If we commit adultery, then God will judge us and we'll be in trouble. No. He's showing you something. Your heart's jacked up. You out here really plotting adultery. You're plotting murder. Man, this process is to, if you were, or if you did, or if you are, it's to like, man, let me get that out of you, because fire purifies. Let me get that out of you, bro. That's not good. You're going to do something stupid, and there's greatness inside of you. And you're out here thinking about cheating. You're going to be on the street. That's all you got is your wife, and you want to blow that? You blew everything up, all your other relationships up, and you blamed everybody else, but you really finna cheat and get a divorce and be separated from your kids. Come on, man. Put yourself together, man. Be a man. You can't do that as no Mason. You can't do that as no Christian. That stuff don't fly, and we just letting stuff fly that we shouldn't. But it's the inner journey. It's the spiritual alchemy that, well, I don't know what level you find that out in, but on this journey, many of the greats speak about it. It doesn't matter what religion you're in. They all hear that voice. They all tapped in to, hey, man, that's a brother. No, that's a Muslim. No, ain't no damn Muslim. He just grew up over there. That was his church. That was his Christianity. That's all he knew. Yeah, but it's not like, man, it's the language barrier. The love barrier is stronger. And y'all taught me to hate these people. Man, y'all taught me to hate, and this guy is bleeding love. Man, come on, something ain't right. And you start asking questions. That's the awakening. And yeah, there's a lot of people doing that. Enough people are doing it that the powers that be had to do something about it, had to turn the heat up a little bit. But when they turn the heat up, it's good. That's what we do. We're we're there's heat inside of us. There's fire in us. We're light. You can't burn light.
Man,
All of the stories, we're reliving those stories, man, in the scriptures. Like it is an archetype, and they do keep repeating. It is astrological. It is inner alchemy. It's all of that.
I meant to ask you this a while ago, and Will said, Truth. I meant to ask you this a while ago, and we can end on this final. I got this wrote down
All right.
to ask you, and we can end on this. Explain however long you want, whatever. It's a large loaded question. I meant to ask because we was talking about it earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt you because you was on a flow. You know, I hate interrupting people I have come on my guest. I try not to do that, you know, but because also Linda Moulton Howe, like people were because I interviewed her in person also, um, and people were like, "Man, I love that interview because you did not interrupt her." You know, like I think in a 45, 48 minutes, I think I may have asked like 3, 4 questions. You know what I mean? And she just spit stuff out. But so I know this is a large and loaded question, but what is the soul, spirit, and consciousness? Are they all one and the same or separate? I think our soul or spirit is a hot commodity out there amongst extraterrestrials and or malevolent entities that live here on Earth, but possibly on another frequency or another dimensional plane. And maybe our soul or spirit could be a type of currency amongst these ETs or entities. Maybe this all relates to the alien abduction phenomenon and why so many people are getting experimented on. Because these beings, whatever they are, do not have a soul. And possibly one of their main objectives or agendas is to somehow that soul, extract the soul uh, or spirit from these abductees. Or if they aren't extracting the soul, maybe they are self-replicating the souls like that of a 3D printer, but on the subatomic and molecular level. Each person has a different and unique soul. And that's why these entities experiment on so many abductees from possibly the ancient times all the way to modern day. All the way because these entities can have a variety of souls to use for their own liking and agenda. It's kind of like a fruit basket with a large variety of different fruits to choose from instead of having all the same kinds of fruits. And with all that said, we come to the $1,000,000 question. Why? Why do they want our soul? Aliens, extraterrestrials, demons, entities, whatever you want to call them. Why do they want our soul? Is our souls like a food source to them? Like that of a variety of different fruits with our souls having many different flavors from different people? Or is our soul needed by these entities or ETs, demons, or whatever, so they can be used as a battery source, kind of like that in the cartoon movie Monsters Inc.? Or do they need our soul because they can't evolve into higher dimensional beings being a soulless entity? What's your thoughts on all this?
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's many things that play. And
I know that's a large and loaded statement
yeah,
slash question,
there's
but
so many parts of it. But the soul and what they need. So here's what I'll drop because this is what I know. Um, everything everything runs off of energy, and the more energy you got, the more you can do. And in the spiritual process, the way God works, the way the angels work, um, is that when you're shown faithful with what you've got, more is given to you. And even in this whole reality that we're in with the powers that be and those who seem to be subject to them, um, feeding off of fear attracting things,
mm-hmm.
but also love attracting things, beauty attracting things, faith, hope, and then there's this war in between whatever's trying to, get your attention. There's a war. Why? How? Every entity, every God every person needs energy. There's protocol when working with spirits. You don't just get to say its name and demand it to come. It needs some type of energy. You got to be able to feed it. Why'd you get the dog if you wouldn't feed it? You can't even take care of yourself, but you're gonna get a dog. You can't feed the dog. No, you got to be able to take care of it. You got to give it something.
Mm-hmm.
And so different entities eat and show up around certain energies. Some of them can't be in certain frequencies. They just can't be around it. They'll die. And if they eat the energy, they die. It's not what they eat, but other ones are attracted to it. And this is how all the gods work. This is, you go back to the Bible, and they would bring offerings, grain offerings, fruit offerings. And so this is a hierarchy. And this is how this realm is set up in energy. And this is how things make something righteous or wicked, according to the Bible, is that you can break it down like this. The wicked feed off of other people's energy. They take, they steal, kill, and destroy. They don't know how, or even if they knew how, they can't generate their own energy because all they do is suck energy. There are beings that are in a realm under us that is parallel with us, to say that, but it's 2D. It's the shadow realm. They cast shadows on the wall. They dwell in darkness. It is their skin is dark.
Could purgatory be that 2D realm?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Maybe.
it could be levels to the purgatory, but it's working your way back out of 4, 5 levels because they overlap and they have the ability to get in or out. And that's the thing about this whole going to hell or going to heaven or kings. And this is every so often the gates open up. New souls come in and out. If you watch that footage that I shared,
Busy Bones?
no.
Which one?
The Merkaba footage.
Oh, yes.
There's things coming out of the sun, and there's these Merkabas, and not just them. They're going to collect these, what is probably souls, and they're collecting them all. They're eating them, and they're coming back, putting them into one, and dropping them off into the sun. Now, whether that's, what happens after that, well, we're talking about energy. For the sun, maybe there's something we don't know about. Maybe our sun it's got holes in it. We don't, how much longer do we got? They're talking about going underworld. Maybe we need a new sun. What's going on? But we're talking about anything that gives you energy. You got to bring it energy. You got to bring something. The wicked ones only come to take. They absorb. A spirit can come in the room and pull the air out. And to be honest with you, I'm not even going to share it. But people you can meet and talk to, even across the wavelength, can suck energy out of the room. And
I agree,
they might
man.
not even have any idea what they're doing. Just like Busy Bone might not have had any idea what he was doing. But something that he was connected with somewhere, somehow, maybe some agreement in the 90s he signed. You give me access, bro. Once a year, I get to visit you.
Or a subconscious contract.
You got to say my name. You got to give me a song. I need one song a year. Say my name. Because as long as you say their name, that's energy. You remember a forgotten entity. If you don't, they don't exist. Some spirits leave through fasting and prayer. Meaning, man, if you don't eat, you're dead. And nobody's feeding you anymore. And we're talking about literally you fasting.
I fast
Stuff out
24
of,
hours every day. Eat one time a day. One
there you
time a
go.
day. Every day.
Me too. And it's healthy. But if I have a window back here. And if I take my scraps and after I eat food and got leftovers, I throw it out the window, it's going to attract certain types of animals
Yeah.
and insects, and they're going to come who would have never come before. What is that? Chicken. Oh man, they got chicken out, chicken. But then and then the sun goes down, and those beings who were eating, they scurry off and they go to their homes.
It's because
And they
you
go
opened your
hide.
window. You opened your window. Metaphorically, you see what I'm saying? You allowed yourself
Yeah.
to be psychically vamp.
Well, here's the thing. They're showing up. Well, hold on. If I left the window open, because I'm talking about open the window, throw it out, and shut it.
I got
If
you.
you
I
leave
got you. I
the
got
window, how they coming in?
you.
They show up to eat. They show up to eat your energy, your
Hmm.
your beauty, your grace, your money. Man, people got once you start working your way up these ranks, leeches.
I hate to
The
interrupt you, man. I hate to interrupt you. I hate doing that, but I had to tell you. And man, we're already over 2 hours. Man, I'm enjoying this. We're about to wrap it up because we're going to cut this into some segments. You know what I mean? I'm going to have you on in the near future. I promise you. I promise you. Probably in the next couple of weeks, we can try to plan something.
let's do it.
But which what you're talking about? You know, Jason quit.
No.
Jason quit. TheCrystalSun.com. He's been on Fade to Black a lot with Jimmy Church. Just look him up. Jason quit. And but I interviewed him back in 2019, right before COVID came out, December of 2019. And man, we was talking about some like entities, psychic vampirism, some dark stuff. And I don't think he wasn't attacking me, but was it just us talking and conversing on these dark subjects, man? Like these other dimensions and these entities and all this got pretty deep. Did I allow myself open without closing that door, that window, like you just said? Because guess what? After that interview, I started getting sick. I got the flu. This is right before COVID. It could have been COVID. They didn't have the test for it then. I don't know. I had to sit on a 5-gallon bucket in the shower because I couldn't stand. I
Yeah.
mean it, man. Like you talking about getting emotional, like just even thinking about just how, like when I was trying to connect the dots, like what's going on? You know what I mean? Like we had a pretty powerful interview, and then that was probably one of the sickest I ever been. That
Mm.
was it was a couple. I think it was December 19. It was like a couple of days after that interview. I started feeling off after the interview. Then like 3, 4, I don't remember. I didn't keep notes, but shortly after that
Mm-hmm.
interview, I got sick, man. Like, do you think that I possibly, not intentionally, forgot to close that window, just like you said?
Yeah, it's seeds, there's seeds, there's ideas,
Did
there's
I get
energy.
attacked? Did something that possibly attacked me to where it lowered my vibration? It lowered everything to where I got sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it looks for chinks in your armors. I mean, it's almost it looks for cracks in the window, right? If you have a cup and you're drinking water out of it, but it's a hole in the bottom, like that water's gonna absorb and morph to the cup that's carrying it. But if there's a leak, it's gonna run out and it's gonna find that hole and how to get in or how to get out. So yeah, there's a lot of it is high magic. And one of the things about the whole Bible stuff, why I'm diving deep onto that, and I want that magic back, is because they convinced us that these conversations aren't powerful, that somebody who has an intention could be grooming you, and you didn't know it. You wouldn't. You're innocent. Why would you? They're setting you up, coming back. They know what they're doing, and that's how these entities work. And they use people. They don't. They have to have people, or they don't exist. There would be no portal, there would be no window for them. And so the powers that be, I believe, are in cahoots. We're talking about trading. So let me I just want to throw this, like, I know we're done.
Go ahead,
We're
man.
talking about aliens, right? Like the aliens are coming here harvesting. I'm not even I've never experienced that. But I'm talking about the beings in the other realms that are trading information and power, that they can come here. I'm talking about a shadow that collects information and comes out at night, that is able to come, and they know what's going on and they know how to stop it. And we can protect ourselves, but they don't tell us because it's happening that way. With those interdimensional, don't worry about it. The ship would be too easy. You'd freak out. Your whole neighborhood would see the ship hovering over your home and take pictures. Everybody's got cameras. No, we're talking about in the shadows and subtleties. Maybe they changed it up. Maybe they learn how to project themselves out of the ship and come down here as a shadow and devolve into that realm. But we're talking about beings that travel in between those realms, and they're stuck. And they only get access if somebody is cooking what they eat. They're not coming to the table. They don't eat that. And I think that exists for the light and the dark. And people are experiencing a lot of, and I say this word, terror in the night right now. Like, it's ramping. Like, this demon stuff is ramping up. Like, they're getting attacked. They're waking up with beings sucking the energy off of them, trying to crawl in their mouth, shadow entities that look like crazy stuff. And I think it's, as the beautiful stuff ramps up, the dark stuff's ramping up too.
As above, so below.
The veil's becoming thinner, and maybe this has always been happening, but as the veil thins, we're able to wake up and see it taking place. But I do believe that people know, the powers that be know that this is taking place, and they know how to stop it, and they won't tell us. I'm finding all this in the Bible.
Man.
Of beings who been through the realms, came back and reported it. Hey, I became one of those beings. And then they got redeemed, if you will. There was a fallen king, a fallen angel, a watcher who fell, who got to come back because he didn't know why he fell. He just woke up one day and he was susceptible. He had no idea. He just kept falling. He became a human. Then he's a shadow. Then he's this, and then these are Bible stories that people don't look the words up, what the words mean. That's the magic. If I give him a name, I say his name's Charles, immediately he's not a demon anymore. It's a dude named Charles. But if you look up what their names mean and you read all of the people that were around them and where he's from, his hometown, it sets the play for a multidimensional story that's not talking about a human. It's applicable to a human.
Maybe we're creating this artificial tulpa within our reality. Like, for those that, what's a tulpa? Like, you just Google it, a being that begins in the imagination but acquires a tangible reality. You know what I mean? Woo! I got chills, man. Like, maybe we're creating this artificial tulpa within our everyday life. Everybody.
Well, there's the consciousness.
We're creating our reality.
You're talking about consciousness, and what is consciousness? It's that you created it. You're feeding to it. It's group think.
I got goosebumps, man. Man.
What is so we sampled this years ago from Aladdin in the song. It was Jafar. You need to look up what Jafar means, the etymology of Jafar, man. But he said at the beginning, haven't you heard the golden rule? He who has the gold makes the rules. And it's so true, because influence, power, attention, that's worship. I've diverted your attention to this. You guys were headed here. Look at that mountain. It's really a molehill. Now, look here. Because what you focus on shows itself to you. It unfolds. And then if you gaze into it deeply, you'll see that it's multidimensional. You'll see that there's more to it. especially the mundane. I know we can keep going, bro.
Yeah, I know,
Thanks for
man.
having me, man. You know, I love talking about this
Man.
stuff, and I'll say this: just as the idea of somebody coming on your show or my show, I've had it happen too, to hurt or to, you know, have ill intentions or something. I'm doing that every time I open my mouth to try to encourage, to try to equip, to try to breathe life and bring hope back to people who have given up hope. The people listening to this, to you, to myself, because I'm talking to the younger, bro. I know you're doing this too. I'm talking to the young, we've been doing this a long time. He's young truth seekers out there listening. 28 years old, whatever, however old I was, just getting started, having an awakening, thinks he's going crazy, friends are leaving him, maybe he's going crazy, nobody wants to hang out with him no more. Hey man, you got this, bro. And follow that voice. That voice gonna lead you exactly where you need. I'm leaving bread trails, man, for the next generation, for myself, my avatar self that's out there listening, and it's working. They're following, they're coming home. That's what we're doing. We're paying it forward, man. Thanks for having me, bro.